Hey, what is up guys, welcome back to another video. It's been a few days since the contract DLC has been out, and I've got a good understanding of how great these cars perform, the value for money for them. So I thought in today's video, I'd put these in a ranking, so from worst to best, in my opinion, the 7 cars that are out right now. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Right, starting off in 7th place, we have the Cinquemila. So the car is based off the Maserati Quattroforte, I think. Now, I must say, this car is actually the least voted on, people's favorite. So it's not only on my list, everyone else also voted this not being a great car. I just want you to guys to get involved in this. So if we just deleted everything we knew about the new update and we just looked at this car, how much would you say it's worth? 700k? 600k? I think we would be going a bit too far-fetched if we were saying it was better than the VSTR. That's 1.2 million. No, it's 1.7 million. Now, that's just crazy. Like, yeah, I guess GTA's inflation. What do you get for 1.7 million? Well, at least it's a great car in the fact, it looks nice, and the fact that it's the fastest car in sedans. Now, this is not tried and tested for me, but it's not the fastest car from this DLC. It's actually the second slowest. But I have no doubt that it is very, very fast for a sedan. Now, for 1.7 million, you'd think it has the new options that, the remote control, the anti-missile lock-on, the armor plating, maybe? But it has none of them. Now, this kind of does annoy me. I said I did like all these cars on this list, but having none of those options and charging this much money, it's a bit of a rip-off. Other than that, the styling looks great, I think. If I was to redo it and I wasn't a YouTuber, I definitely would not buy this car again. Now the Astron. The Astron is a great car, looks amazing, and I think it's the best top speed SUV. 1.58 million, it's actually the cheapest car in this DLC. The cheapest out of the first 7 cars, and it does strike, like, all the new Porsches in this game that came in the LS tuners as well. It strikes, it looks really similar to the real life alternative, which is the Macan, which should be the cheaper, it's a cheaper version of the Cayenne. It is a shame that it doesn't have, all the armored plating and the remote control and the missile thing. Just like, the Cinquemila, it doesn't really have all those supporting mods. That's why it's at number 6. Still a bit expensive, 1.58 million. I think this DLC kind of disguises the fact that the cheapest car on this list is, from the new DLC is still quite expensive, 1.58 million. Now, if we only look a few DLCs ago, the most striking part is the fact the Toros, the Lamborghini Urus, which is 500k. I still can't believe that price. But now we have, a Macan, which is the smaller version of the Cayenne, and it's 3 times more than the Lamborghini Urus. Now, this was close to being 6th or 5th, and you're probably thinking, hella, this is a really amazing car. Why would you say that? Well, it is the fact that, it resembles the Paragon R. The Paragon R is 905,000 compared to 1.4 to 1.8. And then you're probably thinking, hello, well, it deserves it because you've got all these new anti-lock-on. That is true. That is true. But you can also get the ballistic armored Paragon R, which is actually free if you complete all the casino missions. So the Paragon R armored is free. It is a shame because it takes a lot of value away from this vehicle. I still think it looks amazing. Like, it has to be... I think it is behind the Buffalo GTX in looks. It's the second best looking car for me. Which, the fact that it looks like the Paragon R should not put you off, because the back of this car, you're going to see this more anyway when you're driving it. You're going to see the back of it. You've got 4 doors so you can get your friends in. It's not the fastest car from this DLC. It actually is the slowest car. But, I mean, it's a luxury vehicle. Do we want that? I mean, the Cullinan is so much faster, the SUV. It's definitely not a vehicle that I would sell the Paragon R for. I would have it alongside it. Now, putting this in 5th position, it's actually voted 5th position, for you guys as well. So I did a poll, as I've said. And, yeah, it came up 5th position. At 4th place. Now, a lot of you may not agree with this, that it should be in 4th place. Amazing car. Look at the looks of this car. It is so cool. I don't think they put as much effort in the back, but it looks amazing. Second of all, we have to speak about the price. If you're a bit jumpy like me and you had to go buy all the vehicles, this took a hit. This 3 million. Oh, it did take a hit, but you know, not too bad. 2.2 million, that's still a lot of money. It is a revolutionary car though. You've got an armored supercar. Now, never before we've had an armored supercar, and this is the only armored supercar. Now, I don't know if you guys like the look of the, you know, the bulletproof casing, but I'm not a big fan of it. Definitely on this car that looks so luxurious. Maybe there's a reason supercars are not armored, you know. And the fact that this car is a supercar, it doesn't scream supercar in performance. So performance wise, it turns amazingly, and obviously that's what you want in a race. It's not the fastest of cars, and you know, even the Cullinan, the big SUV accelerates faster. But the fact that you can make this radio controlled and missile lock-on jammer, you know, we're not going to put it any lower than 4th on this list. Right, the Ignus, the Cyan. Now, this is voted number 2 for best car from you guys, but for me, it is number 3, and I'll tell you why. First of all, if you've watched my drag racing video, this car is amazing, very fast. You know, the speed of acceleration is crazy. I love the wheels. These wheels are super nice. I love how concave they are. Look at the back wheel. You can see how concave it is. Honestly, beautiful. I'm sorry I keep going on about the wheels, but even, you know, the diamond cut, like, you can see it's clearly diamond cut, and the way it pokes out as well. I mean, this car looks super aggressive. It looks like they put so much effort into designing this car. Like, you can even see the back arches, the vents that are in the arches, which is really cool, and the front arches as well. Now let's get into the bit of the bad things. A carry on from, you know, number 4, the Champion. That was the only supercar that had armored plating. So yeah, this doesn't have armored plating, which is a big thing, to be honest, from this DLC. 2.7 million, and you can't do a trade price. It's 2.765 million. There's no trade price, so you know, it is going to take a hit on you. You can't work for this car, and it seems like it was, you know, no trade price for a reason. GTA knew that loads of people wanted to buy this car, so based on that factor, the fact that it costs, you know, 2.7 million, and it doesn't have the new features. The, you know, anti-lock-on would be great. Just having anti-lock-on would be amazing, because I'd love to drive around in a fast car that I know, you know, no oppressor can come and destroy me. I do have no doubt though that this car can replace a lot of cars in your collection, so you don't mind selling 3 million worth of cars just to buy this car. So yeah, there we are at 3rd place. Now, definitely a close second. Like, when I say a close second, I feel like there's more public liking to the 1st place car, which we already know is going to be the Buffalo, than this car. But this car is at such a great price for the DLC, 1.2 million. The fact that it has armored plating, and it's got all the tech, you know, the missile lock-on, the remote control. It's got all the new tech. It's a Cullinan, so you know, we expect it to be crazy money, and it's 1.2 million. Again, still a lot of money, and this DLC does disguise, you know, how expensive these cars are by putting even more expensive cars. But you know, we've got mounted machine guns, we've got so many proximity mine, we've got all the options from this new DLC, and the fact that it's really fast for an SUV, accelerates really fast. I don't know if you guys have watched my drag racing video. I'll leave it linked in the description. Definitely number 1 for value for money in this list. Now, the Buffalo STX. I mean, where do we start from this? First of all, I guess we can look at the looks. How amazing this looks. I do think there's one bad part of the looks, and it's not, you know, the static look of it. It's actually tail lights, the brake lights. And when you're driving around in the night, I think it's a bit too bright. I think that's a little bug that they can fix. But other than that, it looks amazing. You can get the trade price for this, which is 1.6 million. And it is the fastest muscle. I mean, is it worth 1.6 million? And I think that is the most expensive muscle car in the game. By far, it is the most expensive muscle car in the game. But also, it is also the fastest muscle car by far. If you guys have seen this do a wheelie, or you've watched my video, which I will link in the description, on the drag racing, when this thing wheelies, nothing can keep up with it. I still need to try racing this with actual rocket vehicles. I've not done that yet. You've got a lot of modifications. I mean, they are on the generic side. They are, you know, the modifications we do see on a lot of cars. And again, it's number 1 on fan favorite, so you guys love this car too. When I say it's number 1, it's not number 1 by a small margin. So I put out 5 different cars from this DLC. I did put 7. I couldn't fit 7 on the poll, and this won by 62%. Majority voted on this. So altogether, 62% of all the votes voted on this, and that was 7,500 votes. But 62% of those votes just voted for this one car itself. If that doesn't show how great the Buffalo is, you know, having all the new options, being the fastest muscle car, being, you know, not cheap, but you at least can unlock up trade price of it. I think that rounds it up to number 1, and that's why it is number 1. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like, and I will, you know, leave that drag racing video in the description. So if you are curious, please have a look at that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you in the next one.